Today we're going to learn how to measure using SketchUp. Measuring with SketchUp is really simple. Just draw the line and then enter the number on the keyboard. Down at the bottom right hand corner you see it says measurements, and this will show you the size or the measurement, the length of your line that you're drawing. If I get a pencil and I click once to start the line, before I click again to end the line, if I have my line going in the direction I want, I'm trying to draw a line down this red axis. Let's say I want to make it 1,000 millimeters. I can move this back and forth, and I can see down here that the number's moving, and I can get close to 1,000. And if you zoom in, you can probably get it right at 1,000. Oh wow, I got 1,000 right there. But you know what? That takes time. It's wasteful, and it doesn't always work really well. Instead, what you could do is simply take and move the line in the direction you want, and then type in 1,000 on your keyboard and hit enter, and it makes a line exactly 1,000 millimeters. If I want to go up, let's say 777 this way, then I could just type in 777 and click enter, and it makes that line exact for me. I can also enter the number after I make the second click. So if I come this way and I click and I say, oh wait, I forgot to enter my measurement in, it's okay. As long as you don't move your mouse around a lot, you can enter your measurement right now. And so let's say I want to make this 500. I could type 500 and enter, and it makes a line 500 millimeters for me. Other things that you can do, a circle, you can measure radius. And so when I bring this out, you see that the red line there represents the radius. If I want to make my radius 100, then I can type in 100 and enter, and it makes a circle for me. We also have rectangles. Rectangles are a little odd because they have two measurements, but that makes sense because you have two sides that are not equal. Depending on which direction you're looking at it from, or which view you're looking at the rectangle from, depends on if you're looking at height and width, or height and depth, or length. Out of those three things that you're looking at, which combination of which two you're looking at depends on the view. Right now we're looking at width and depth, and so our first dimension is width going across this way, and then depth is going back and forth this way. And so if we want to make 1,000 by 500, we will simply go and type in 1,000, comma, space, 500, and click on enter, and it makes a rectangle that size for us. So measuring in SketchUp is really simple. You just draw and then enter your numbers in. Let's take a look at the assignment for today. Today you are going to draw these shapes here in SketchUp. Let's talk about this a little bit. You may be thinking, wow, I got to draw all those lines, and the answer is no, you don't have to draw all these lines. Remember that SketchUp makes things 3D for you. So what you want to do is try to find the shape or the area or the side that shows you the most shape of the object. So for example, this right here will show me really what the shape of the object is, this side right here. And so that's the side I need to draw. So for example, I really only need to, let's see if I can outline this. I really only need to draw this side here and these lines here. And if I can draw these lines, then I can pull this out and give it the depth that it needs. Now, we just talked about measurement, so let's measure it. The lines in the background are isometric grid lines. These grid lines represent 3D looking squares. And all you have to do is once you get that in your head and you see these 3D squares, then you'll count the number of squares to understand how big the object is. So let me give you an example of a 3D square here. Here goes a side of the square. Sorry for my squiggly lines here. Here goes another side of the square. And now if I draw these two lines, that will complete the top of the square. All right. So you see the top, a side, and a side. And so hopefully now you can kind of see those 3D squares inside. We're going to say that each one of these squares is 10 millimeters by 10 millimeters by 10 millimeters. And so 10 is the number you need to use. If I look at this particular shape here, I can count the squares. There goes one square there, another square right there, that's 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 wide, it's 1, 2, 3 tall, and it's 3 deep. This goes across the top 2, down 1, across 2, up 1, and across 2 again. So let me draw that in SketchUp for you real quick so you can kind of get an understanding of how to do this. We'll start a new document. And I'll start with my line. I'm going to look at the front view of this so I can see it straight on. And I'm going to draw a line. So remember it was 6 wide, so 6 times 10 is 60. So I'm going to type in 60. Oh, and that's really small, but that's going to happen a lot to us this semester. When you draw things in here, we're usually drawing them pretty small. All you have to do is zoom in. Use your click wheel and rotate it forward and zoom in so you can see it. If I remember correctly, it was 30 high, 3 blocks high. So I'll just go up, type in 30. It was 20 across, 10 down. Oh, I can't remember how much across. Let's take a look again. 20 across again. 10 up. And 20 across. And I can just come over here and meet this line. And then meet that one. And there goes the face of my object. And now I can pull this out. Rotate it around a little bit by holding down my click wheel. Pull this out. And I can even pull this out. You see it's got distance here. And remember it was 3 blocks wide, or 3 blocks in depth. And so I'll make this 30. So I'll pull it out, type in 30, and now I've got the exact same object according to the measurements that I specified to you that we have here. So same thing, okay? All right, so not too hard, right? Some of these will get a little bit harder, but you can figure them out. So for example, this shape right here. It would be easiest to actually draw this shape from the top view, as you can see here, because then you can just extrude it down this way. So that wouldn't be really hard. This shape, on the other hand, might be a little bit harder. So let's talk about that. Or actually, let's look at the 4th shape over here. If I was looking at this shape may be a little harder because now I've got to extrude some things maybe 2 different ways or pull them out 2 different ways. There's so many ways that you can think about how to do this. That you just have to, think about and decide. In fact, right now I can't even decide how I'm going to show you how to do this. So this is what? This is 10, 20, 30 going this way, 40, 30, and then there's another little piece out here that's 20 by 30. I don't know if I remember all that. Let's go back to SketchUp and just take a quick look. I'm going to zoom out, and let's take a look at that drawing again. I think I'm going to draw this from the top. So let me look at my top view. I'm going to move this over some. And sometimes you look at this and you say, oh, gosh, why can I still see the side here? If that bothers you, just go to camera and go to parallel projection, and now it's straight on. I'm going to start drawing this other object. I'm going to get a line here, and we'll take one more look at it. 10 by 20 by 20 by 20 by 10. So 10, 20, 20, 20, 10. All right. And these don't have to be perfectly beside each other. So 10, 20, 20, 20, and 10. And then I can just come back around. If that was 20, then this should be 30, I would think. and so forth here. 10 plus 20 is 30, plus another 10 is 40. Yep, and that connects. So I actually just drew a part of this and not the whole thing. Let's go back and look at it. And then there's another little piece to the side here, right? I'm going to go ahead and pull this one up first, though. It's supposed to be 30 high. Let's do that first. So I take it, oh, wrong one. Pull this up by 30, and I have half of my object so far. Okay? Now I just need to add that other little piece to it. So there's lots of ways you could do that. One way could be to just draw a rectangle. And so I'm going to draw a rectangle out like this, and it needs to be 30 by 10. So I'm going to click, I'm going to go 30, comma, 10, and there goes my rectangle. And now I can take this and pull this out this way. And it was supposed to be pulled out by 20. And so there goes my next object. So you have to be a little creative sometimes about how you draw these, and maybe drawing them in sections, and have fun with it. And you can definitely do this and be successful with all of these shapes here. And if you finish all of these, then there are more shapes on another sheet. Have a good day.